Can you guess these very common writing mistakes by my IELTS students? But wait, before I show them to you, I want to address a very important point. Some students ask, is it important to address one's grammar mistakes to do well in the IELTS exam? The answer is that making too many grammatical mistakes is one of the major reasons why many students fail to get the score they desire, especially if they want to get a good IELTS score like 7.0 for both their writing and speaking. You see, here's what the IELTS examiner is looking out for in your writing. In order to get a 7.0 in the grammatical range and accuracy criterion, you need to produce frequent error-free sentences. What this means is that if you make too many grammar and vocabulary mistakes, you may not get a 7.0 for this criterion, and this will most probably mean you won't get a 7.0 for your IELTS writing score. But grammar isn't important only for writing. Your speaking examiner is also looking out for your grammar mistakes. The same thing happens here. If you make too many grammar mistakes, you may not get a 7.0 for your IELTS speaking. I'm going to show you 12 different essays by 12 different students of mine, and in each essay I will highlight one of the 12 most common types of grammatical and vocabulary mistakes for students targeting 7.0 or above. Your challenge is to see if you can correct these mistakes. The essays and mistakes you're going to see are from real students of mine who submitted their IELTS writing for correction. In my IELTS classes, students are given the opportunity to submit their writing for correction, and my partner, who is an ex-IELTS examiner, that is, she used to grade students' writings for the IELTS organization, will correct and grade the students' writings on video. In my classes, I also teach students the 12 most common types of grammar and vocabulary mistakes made by IELTS students targeting an IELTS score of 7.0. Therefore, the following 12 types of mistakes you're going to encounter are very common among IELTS students. Let's see if you can spot the mistakes and correct them. Here's the first essay with the first mistake. Here's a closer look at the mistake. Can you spot the mistake? This mistake relates to understanding the different word classes in English and how to use them. Let me explain. Think is a verb. Deep is an adjective. Whenever you want to use a word to modify a verb, you're going to use an adverb and not an adjective. An adverb modifies a verb, but an adjective modifies a noun. For example, we say, he played well and not he played good. Why? Because we use an adverb to modify a verb. We don't use an adjective to modify a verb. Therefore, we don't say think deep. We say think deeply. Now, there are other mistakes in that short sentence, but this is the one I want to focus on. Here's the second essay with the second type of mistake. And here's a closer look. There are two similar types of mistakes here. Can you spot them? This second mistake type relates to collocation. Collocation is a term most students haven't heard of, yet it's something the IELTS writing and speaking examiners are looking out for in your writing and speech. This is because it's specifically mentioned in the writing criteria and also in the speaking criteria. What does collocation mean? It means natural word combinations. Using the correct collocations will enable you to sound more natural. I teach 6 of the most common collocation mistakes in my class, but for the mistakes shown in the essay before, the collocation mistake relates to one particular kind, the wrong use of the preposition collocation. Let's take a look at the mistake again. What are the mistakes? It should be dependent on their parents, not dependent to their parents. Also, it should be result in, not result to. How exactly do we know which prepositions and collocations to use? This is a very important question that I don't have time to deal with here. I teach that in depth in my class, and it's one of those mistakes that many students make but don't realize how often they make such mistakes until I've taught them what collocations are. If this is the first time you've heard of the term collocation, please find out more about it, as this is something your examiner is actively looking out for in your IELTS exam. For the rest of the 10 mistakes, in order for this video not to be too long, I wouldn't be correcting the mistakes for you in this video, nor would I be explaining the mistakes. I'm going to go through the rest of the mistakes quickly. The challenge for you is to spot the mistakes and try and correct them. At the end of the video, I'll give you instructions on how to contact me with your answers. For serious students who have taken up the challenge to spot the mistakes and correct them, if you contact me with your answers, I will send you a video with me going through all the correct answers. So here's the third essay with the third type of mistake. And here's a closer look. Here's the fourth essay with the fourth type of mistake. Here's a closer look. Here's the fifth essay with the fifth type of mistake. Here's a closer look. And the sixth essay with the sixth type of mistake. And here's a closer look. And the seventh essay with the seventh type of mistake. And a closer look here. The eighth essay with the eighth type of mistake. And here's a closer look at the mistake. The ninth essay with the ninth type of mistake. And here's a closer look. The 10th essay with the 10th type of mistake. Let's look at it more closely. The 11th essay with the 11th type of mistake. And here's a closer look. And finally, here's the 12th essay with the 12th type of mistake. And here's a closer look. As promised, if you contact me with your answers, I will send you a video with all the correct answers. All you have to do is WhatsApp me at 65 9768 1054. Write down your answers for questions 3 to 12. And leave your email so I can send you the video. I hope you've learned something from this video, and I hope you take up the challenge to correct the mistakes and improve your English. Cheers!